In the preceding movie, we had a look at the icon to draw property, and I want to explain what that is in more detail now. Notice down here at line 26, we are calling a function called draw icon, which is part of the Gizmos class, and this can be used to draw any custom texture that we import at the position of the object in the scene. So I'm just going to move MonoDevelop out of the way here and go back and select our Gizmo object in the scene. Now, right now, this object appears to have no kind of center. There's no icon representation at the center of this object indicating what this object might be. We may typically want to draw some kind of texture here in the viewport to represent this object. Now, there are some other ways that we can achieve this. For example, I could select this Gizmo object, and from the object inspector here, over here on the right-hand side, I could click on this cube drop down and pick, for example, a diamond icon. And when I do that, you can see we have this diamond icon centered at the object here. If I didn't want a diamond icon, I could select this and choose one of these tabs, for example, the orange tab, and it displays the name of the object at the center instead. Alternatively, I could click the other button to import one of my own textures, like any of these, for example, but I don't want to do that either. Instead, I want to just choose none, and I want to use the Gizmos class to draw a texture for us. Now, to do that, I so happen to have created a new folder here inside the project panel under the assets group. You need to create a new folder called Gizmos, and any textures that you want to draw as an icon for this object, they need to be imported into that folder called Gizmos. The naming of the folder is very important. So what I'm going to do is to bring up my folder, my assets folder here into view. So let me just bring this into view. So we have this assets folder here, like so, and you can see the assets that we have. And notice here is my Gizmos folder. So I'm going to double click on the Gizmos folder, and I have a texture on screen that I have imported, or have downloaded rather, from the website opengameart.org. And here is this carrot texture. So I'm going to drag and drop this carrot texture into the Gizmos folder. So just drag and drop that in here. And these changes are reflected inside the Unity editor. There we have our carrot texture. Now I'm going to select that texture. By default, Unity has imported this as any regular texture under the texture type here, but I want to change this from texture to sprite 2D UI, and then I'm going to disable the option generate bitmaps and choose apply, and that will display the texture at its correct size and also incorporate the transparent PNG background. So now we have imported this texture carrot. And if I go back to MonoDevelop, you can see at line 26 where we have the draw icon code, the first parameter is the position at which we should draw the icon, and the second parameter is my icon, which is a string. That represents the name of the texture that we want to draw minus the file extension. So if the file is a PNG file, we don't need to specify PNG. So I'm just going to go back to the Unity editor here, select my Gizmo object, and inside the My Icon field, all I have to do is type the name of the texture, carrot, and there now Unity is drawing our texture at the position of the object. So that's how we can import a texture into the project and have Unity draw it as an icon. And if I move my object about, that texture will move with it, and this allows us to improve the visualization of objects in our scene.